Welcome back to the SnarkyPhysicist. I'm KM. So today I'm going to be talking about growth mindset, something I learned about at a professional development over the summer. Basically, growth mindset is a belief that anything can be accomplished through hard work, and that intelligence can be improved, that it's not a fixed quantity. It's a contrast to fixed mindset, which is the belief that you're born with a certain amount of intelligence and ability and talent, and that's all you have for the rest of your life. You have a certain set of innate abilities, and you can't really change them. In principle, I've always believed in growth mindset, I guess, but there's a big difference between believing something in your head and living it. I think I functionally live with a fixed mindset. The one area in which I know I really live with a growth mindset is my writing. I seek out critiques, I'll go to workshops, I'll go to conferences, I'll read books about how to write better. I'm always looking to improve that. Rough critiques hurt for a long time, but now it almost feels good because I know I'm getting better. That's growth mindset in action. I'm okay with suffering some amount of humiliation and pain and difficulty and stress to get better at writing because I believe I can. I was briefly like this with my teaching. You saw it the most when I was an apprentice. I took an apprenticeship with one of my favorite teachers of all time, whose craft was more refined than anyone I knew, and that was a learning experience. Some of the best time of my life. Not easy. I don't have it as much in other areas of my life, but I am working on it. I do have a growth mindset about my mindset. Of course, sometimes it's kind of hard for me to know whether I actually don't have a growth mindset in a certain area, or I just choose not to work really hard at something, which might be why I've never been very athletic, because I start running and I believe that if I worked really hard at running, I could get better, but one of the things that you can do to improve your growth mindset is sort of recognize the way the brain works. We talk about the brain being like a sponge, but really it's a little bit more like a muscle. The more you practice thinking, the more you think about difficult problems, the more you exercise your brain, the stronger it gets, the smarter you get, literally. There are physical changes that take place in your brain every time you learn something new, every time you try something different, every time you push yourself past that limit. It's not just how much you know, it's how smart you are. You can get smarter just by working on it. As a physics teacher, I believe that anyone can learn physics. It might take a lot of hard work, a lot of concentration, a lot of practice, but I believe anyone can. And I want to share that with my students. I want my students to have a growth mindset. My students pretty much don't have it. They are quite convinced as soon as they take the first test in a subject, oh, I'm great at this, or oh, I'm not good at this and I never will be. They're consistently convinced about what they're good at and what they're not good at, and they don't branch out much. I want to share that with my students. I want them to have a growth mindset. And this professional development has inspired me to work on my mindset and hopefully share that with my students as well. It's also part of why I'm making this channel. Not everyone gets the chance to take a physics class, and some of us are too scared and intimidated to do so, or even if we do have growth mindset and we do believe that we could learn physics, we don't want to take the time, but I think everybody should get to share in the awesomeness of the world around us, at least in some way. So I'd like to hear from you. Do you have any challenge you overcame through working hard? Can you point to a time in your life where you feel like you got smarter about something or learned something you never thought you would? Tell me about it in the comments and subscribe for more talks like this.